last weekend marks the release of Venom: Let There Be Carnage, one of the biggest movies to come out in a while. So of course I rushed to the theater to see a French movie where a girl had sex with a car. Titane, and yes I did look up how to pronounce that just now, is from writer and director Julia Ducournau, the mind behind Raw, the critically acclaimed film that actually made some people faint when it played at festivals. Titane is also the winner of the Palme d'Or, the highest honor at the Cannes Film Festival, the first horror film and second female director to win that honor. The plot? Well, the trailers don't really tell you anything about the story, so maybe I should be vague too. Probably shouldn't have even mentioned the part where the girl fucks the car. Whoopsies. But it is one of those movies like The Lighthouse where shit happens but you really have no idea what the hell is going on. It's a trip that's a little more surreal than Raw. You can draw clear parallels to Eraserhead or the works of David Cronenberg. It also announces itself firmly as a provocateur with some of its ideas in addition to the violence and gratuitous sex and nudity that probably pushed the limits of the R rating. But of course it never feels like an edgelord movie. It's also not as violent as Raw, just sexy and maybe a little uncomfortable. It's an occasionally unsettling horror movie. The first half made me think, what the hell is going on, and maybe even made me wonder if I should have seen Venom instead. I mean, I should probably see that with the crowd. The crowd's probably what made the first one so fun for me. But by the end, I still didn't really know what the hell was going on, but I'd already bought into it anyway. And it's even a little emotional and thought-provoking in that second half with its portrayal of finding a companion, which was surprisingly effective even though the main girl was not a likable character in the beginning. She's a bad person who does things for reasons that are not completely clear, but when the violence settles down and we focus on the character relationships, I don't know, I just got into them. Titane probably won't appeal to everyone, but it's an entertaining, weird-ass art house body horror movie. It might just make you rethink your relationship with your car.
Home Box Office takes a brief intermission and will return on the hour with our next feature presentation.
Do you feel depressed?
Tamam.
Hi, Jack. Bye, Jack.
It's no bed of roses. Well, sometimes it is.
What are you so afraid's going to happen?
I don't know. The Sopranos.
This is Scarface, final scene. Say hello to my little friend.
Presentation des Fonctionnalities.
The Many Saints of Newark, now in theaters and on HBO Max, is the prequel to the groundbreaking TV show The Sopranos, a show that I've really only watched recently as my family has only gotten HBO recently, so it's pretty fresh in my memory how great the show was, which only makes this movie more disappointing. I guess I wasn't actually expecting this to be as good as the series. With the show's reputation that would probably be unreasonable. But I guess I was hoping for El Camino, a movie that didn't quite live up to Breaking Bad but was still good enough. While I didn't hate Many Saints of Newark, it was still not close to El Camino's level. With that movie, there was still enough of Breaking Bad's style or whatever to make it feel like an episode of the show, or at least close enough. That is not the case here. This feels more like some wannabe Scorsese than The Sopranos. This is marketed as an origin story for Tony Soprano, and before I finish that point, let me say Tony and the rest of his gang are played very well and seem to have gotten their older counterparts' mannerisms down perfectly. Tony is played by the original actor's son, Michael Gandolfini, who actually does look exactly like a younger version of his father. Which makes it suck that the movie isn't actually about them. It's really just about his uncle's rise and fall in a story that feels like it would have been better as a miniseries. I walked away from this thinking it was just okay but disappointing, but now that I think about it, it's probably a bad movie. In the same sense that I wasn't too fond of another Warner Brothers movie this year, Reminiscence. It's not as bad, it doesn't have the bad dialogue, but the writing is still practically white noise.
Now when the Saints marching in.